Hi, this is Leigh Ambergy, stampwithleigh.com. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Metro, Ohio, and today's video is going to be featuring this Christmas card with some changes. You know me, I love to do some changes. But before we get into the card, I just want to remind you that my November PDF tutorial features the Season of Chic bundle, and that is a special during the month of November for any $25 before tax and shipping online purchase you make on my Stampin' Up! Site. I will send you an email with a tutorial, PDF tutorial, featuring 5 cards, full pictures, 5 cards, the list of material that was used, and the cutting dimensions for all the material, and step-by-step directions. So make sure you check this out. The more information is at the bottom, right after the video on my blog. But there's also a special host code you need to use to qualify for that PDF. Also, beginning December 1st, we have to say goodbye to some favorites in the current mini catalog, and that is the last chance products. There are discounts for certain products. I will have a link that you can view this, and also I will have a link for any carryover items from the mini that will be carried over. When you do view this listing, please pay attention to the little asterisks, because there are bundles in the mini catalog that are on the retire list, but they are not per se retiring. They are retiring as a bundle. They will be offered or carried over, but not at a bundle at the 10% savings. So just please be aware of that. What I'm using today is the products from the Fitting Florets, and I am using the framed florets dies. So in particular, we're using this one. And let's see, that's it. That's all I have to go over. So let me get all this stuff out of the way. And again, this is the card that I made. And this is great for using up your scraps of DSP. And it's also, it's easy. It's not really hard. And then also I did this one, which I used, I didn't even write my directions down for this. This is the Lights Aglow Designer Series paper. And I used Very Vanilla. My Very Vanilla, I hate to admit, but I hadn't been showing my Very Vanilla cardstock any love lately. So I pulled out and said, what can I do with my Very Vanilla? So I used Very Vanilla cardstock on both of these. And again, I have a portrait landscape design on this. And also I switched my greeting up. And you'll notice on this one, I used the Festive Pearls for the hollies. This I colored in with Stamping Blends. This one is the one I did first. And I used Cherry Cobbler blends for the little holly berries. And then since this is Evening Evergreen, I used Evening Evergreen. And I don't know, that felt too dark for me. So on this one, I used the Soft Succulent. And I liked that a lot better. So let's put these aside and let's get started. So I have 5.5 by 8.5 Cherry Cobbler cardstock, and all I'm going to do with this is fold it in half. You can score this. Usually I don't score it unless it's 4.25 by 11, because I have a hard time folding when it's long, but this, I just fold it in half. And I'm going to burnish with my bone folder. And then I used Sahara Sand. And then this is my Very Vanilla. And then all I'm going to do is layer my strips of Designer Series paper. And you know what? I'm still going to do it this way. This one's going to be a landscape because, why do I do portrait? Well, I did portrait in the other one. So we'll do this one landscape. Again, still change it up. So I mean, you could try to measure and mark grid paper and everything else. I just eyeball it. I just eyeball it. And the spacing between here, you can put the spacing is as thin. Come on, I don't have you up against the edge. You can do it as wide or as narrow as you want. I mean, it's up to you, whatever you want to do. And I didn't think to do one where I butt the cardstock up against each other. Maybe I'll try that one next time. I did cut more cardstock because I will be making more of these. Now, hopefully I've cut all of these and applied them even. I didn't. I have some hanging over. And me, I cannot draw a straight line. I can't cut a straight line. And that's just me. But if you have any hanging over, yeah, you could put this in your trimmer, your paper trimmer. I have a hard time with that. So I'm just using a guillotine cutter I have. And then that gives me a nice clean edge. And I wouldn't really not be able to cut that off with a paper trimmer. All right, so that section's done. Now on to some stamping. So I've got a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock, Memento ink. I'm going to ink this up. Yeah, let me make sure I cut this right. Yep. All right, I'm going to stamp this in the center. Pretty good, pretty good. Cover that up so I don't stick my fingers in it. And I did pull over, my Stamp and Cut and Emboss mini. So I will cut that out with this. Just get this lined up on my platform. That looks good. My plate on top. Stick this in my machine. Crank away. Get that out of the way. This here. This is garbage. And then pop this out. There we go. Move that side. And then now we're just going to assemble. I'm going to grab a tape runner, this up here. And you have heard me state before, for me, tape runners are a personal preference. What you want to use. I prefer, Stampin' Up! Has Stamping Seal Plus. I do have those. I have just always preferred a tape runner that has a diamond or dot to it, because I don't get things straight, or I put something down and decide I don't like that. And it's much easier for me to pull my cardstock up using this type of a tape runner. This is permanent, and once you press it down, it stays, and it's pretty good. So again, it's your personal preference. I'm gonna pull out you can use liquid adhesive for this. And again, I am using my tape runner because the diamond pattern is only going to go where there's cardstock. It's not going to hang over as if a solid image. Whoa, and I did not space that out good. There's no overlaps with this type of a tape runner. So I've got that down. I'm going to put adhesive on this. Fit this in here. And again, my margins aren't that great, but you know what? That doesn't bother me. It's a handcrafted card. So on this, what I'm going to do is bring in my Soft Succulent Stamping Blends. And I'm just going to color in my little holly leaves. And you can also, this is not a large space, so if you do not have blends in this color, use your ink pad and pick up some ink with your blender pen. If you have a blender pen, just be very careful that you do not overwork the Very Vanilla cardstock. It will, if you do, it will start to get little peels that start to get fuzzy on you. Or if you have the in color Stampin' Right markers. Okay, so on these I colored with the stamping blends. This was the Festive Pearls. You could also use, even though they're real red, you could also use the red rhinestones and put down for that. I'm going to try something. Oh, I forgot. I'm going to try something different. But I also want to add just some color to the little pine branch there. And then I am pulling out the pearlized enamel effects. And, ooh, lost the top on that one. And I'm going to use that on here. Yes, this is real red, but it should... I'm thinking it should, yeah, I think it's going to look okay. So this, though, you will have to let this dry. So let's see how well I do. Hopefully I won't goober this up. Ooh, one. And don't be afraid to turn your cardstock, turn your projects around to suit you. That's what I have a tendency to do. Oh, I didn't put enough there. Let's see. There we go. Woo. Okay. So there. So this is the pearlized enamel effects in the real red. You will need to let this sit and dry. I would say a good half an hour, but just set it off to the side, let it dry. And, you know, that's it. So we did Cherry Cobbler. We did the Evening Evergreen. And again, I just colored with my blends. I colored again with my blends. This is the Festive Pearls. This is in Cherry Cobbler. And yeah, Cherry Cobbler. And then this one, I used the pearlized enamel effects. So a great way to use up your scraps of designer series paper. And again, I made these for Christmas. I need Christmas cards, but go through your stash of designer series paper, find some that you like. If you need a birthday card, just change up your greeting to suit what type of a card you need to send out. And getting back to Christmas cards, my customers know that I send a Christmas card to everyone that I have a mailing address, a valid mailing address for. So if you receive my monthly newsletter, and I send out a monthly newsletter, it's always by the 7th of each month that it goes out. If you're on my monthly newsletter and I have a valid mailing address for you, you receive a Christmas card from me that has a certificate for a free in-person class. So if you get my newsletter and you want to verify and make sure that you're going to get a Christmas card from me with a free class certificate, just shoot me an email and just say, hey, Leigh, just want to verify you have my correct mailing address. Please make sure you provide your name so I can find you on my database, and give me your mailing address. If you're watching this video and you're not on my monthly newsletter, again, shoot me an email. Say, please add me to your monthly newsletter. And if you do live in the greater Cleveland, Lake County area, because I am in Mentor, Ohio. It's a suburb of Cleveland, shoot me an email and just say, please add me to your mailing list. So just a little perk that I like to send out to thank my customers that purchase from me, that attend my classes, and even for those that, if you don't attend a class, you open my email when I have my newsletter and you read it. I appreciate that. And also if you follow my blog and check that out. I appreciate each and every one of you. So again, simple card, using up your scraps. So I hope you have enjoyed this. And again, shoot me an email just to make sure that I have your address. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.